Okay, so the summer is wrapping up. I just wanted to create one last video before I'm swamped with schoolwork and creating these new businesses. So I wanted to create the most important video I possibly can. And that's going to be about my mission and my drive, and why it's important for everyone else to have one of those too. Not the same one, but just in general. So a drive is important simply because you're going to life is full of ups and downs. We all hear it until we experience it. We don't understand how serious those things are. Like, there's ups and downs constantly throughout life. The only thing that can push us forward is to have a strong drive, and your drive can be anything that can possibly lift you up when you're down. For most people, I know it's their kids. I know a lot of people can relate to that. Once you became a parent, your drive was seeing your kids succeed, and that is the strongest motivator for you to go back to school or to pursue something bigger or to get a promotion or do something grander with your life, But your drive can be anything, but you need it. It's essential for any type of growth in life. And now I just want to talk a little bit about my drive and my mission. So I'm going to rewind. I'm around the time. So back before fourth grade, to me, the most successful person, the richest person in the world to me was Kobe Bryant. That's why I had to drive to be a basketball player. I wasn't even that good, to tell you the truth, but I'm still not. But I wanted to be a basketball player. To me, that was the richest person, the most successful person, the most everything. They were just the kings of the world, basketball players. And again, it all changed in fourth grade when my teacher read out of the newspaper about Bill Gates, the richest man in the world. And then I realized, I swear to God, man, my mind blew. I was like, what the fuck? What's so crazy about memories? Memories are things that stick with you because of the emotional response that you had to them. So that was such a life-changing moment in my life that I remember that day in fourth grade. That's how crazy it was. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I had such a strong emotion to that. My whole world changed. Bill Gates was the richest man in the world, and he wasn't a basketball player. He was a tech entrepreneur. He was a freaking business magnate. My whole life changed. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what am I thinking? What am I, basketball player? What am I thinking, And now that I'm embarking on that journey, I'm a year and a half into it right now. I'm starting to understand more of why I idolize basketball players, and essentially why our community does the same. That's the beautiful thing about going on this entrepreneurial journey. You start to get these really deep, profound thoughts, because when you hit rock bottom, the only thing that can get you out is your drive and your mind, And so I started to look around and understand, why is it that every person that I know or that I've interacted with, or anyone that I know that looks or sounds like me or that's on TV, they all aspire to do a few things, they limit themselves to those few things. So they'd rather be in music, sports, reality TV, cosmetology, and medical field. We limit ourselves so much. And honestly, not knocking the medical field, so I'm gonna take that out of there, but we limit ourselves so much that it's crazy to me. But then I also understand it. It's because that's what our environment tells us that we can do. That's what our environment tells black and brown kids what they can do. We're told by our environment that the only success that we can ever have is by being a rapper, a sports player, or doing something illegal. You feel me? And that's why I salute to Nipsey, because he was trying to change that narrative. But it's crazy how that it really is. If you guys really think I think a lot of people kind of say, I'm not knocking anyone who is an amazing artist or amazing sports player. I'm not knocking you guys, but really think about it. Our drive for doing those industries is based on the fact that we only associate our success as a community with those industries, and we don't look at the fact that these people who are the richest people in the world, the 1% of the world, are people that are in these really overlooked industries like technology, entrepreneurship, industry building, things such as oil magnates, real estate. They're into these really big sectors that we as a community don't believe that we can ever be a part of. At least that's what I feel, based on like the conversations that I've had as a kid, and even now, I realize that that's something that everyone kind of overlooks. And it's not our fault. It's our environment. Again, our environment that dictates where we're going to be. It doesn't dictate it, but it kind of like puts us in the spot of understanding where we're going to be. Like the reason why success in those industries are not necessarily associated with our communities, because our community doesn't typically go after those things, while other communities tend to always be more active in those things because they have those people around them that look like them that are in those industries. Let's be real. If both your parents were, lawyers, what are you going to do? You're going to be a lawyer. Both your parents are entrepreneurs. You're going to look towards that route too. And that's something that I think we, as the next generation, we need to change that narrative, because it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. There's billion-dollar industries that nobody wants to tap. Instead, everyone wants to be fucking Quavo. Like, let's be real. You want to be Quavo. You want to be rap stars, and I'm not knocking it. Like, great rap stars, like look what happened to Jay-Z. Jay-Z ended up taking his opportunity as a rapper and changed it into like a whole mogul. Like, he became a whole business mogul. So I'm not gonna even knock being a rapper, and if that's something you're good at, I'm not gonna knock it either. But really think about it. You're idolizing someone who essentially still works for somebody else. You're idolizing the work instead of the boss. I gotta say it like that. You're idolizing the work instead of the boss. And let's be real, and even if you take it a step further, we understand that most of these rappers are broke, because let's be real, rap is kind of a sleazy industry. Music industry is a sleazy industry. Let's be real. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. It is. They get people who don't understand business into these industries and then end up fucking ripping them off with 360 deals. Look it up if you don't understand me. You sign a contract and then you're now a slave to the dealer. You're now a slave to the record label. You have to pay back the money they lent to you. You got to pay that back in record sales. And you don't own your music. You don't own your masters. You're getting screwed out of millions that you could make throughout your life to make a few hit songs for a label. And guess what? The label head doesn't look like you. That's the reality of the situation. So. And even a basketball player, basketball is not a career. Sports is not a career. And I'm not knocking anyone who's going into it, but it's not essentially a career. It's something you do for probably 10 to 15 years out of your life. And then guess what? You're on your own after that. Like, there's been cases, I can't even think of one right now, but there's been cases of, players who've retired and they've gone flat out broke, because guess what? It's the same situation. They get kids that look like us and put us in a situation where we need to understand business and finance, and because we don't understand those things, we end up losing all our money straight out. That's what it is. It's kind of like almost a scam to keep us in those industries so that we can make other people rich while we stay as a community broke. And so it's like, we got to think bigger. And that's what my drive is, to change those conversations in our communities. My drive is to change the conversation of technology and investments and finance and business in our community. And again, I'm working hard to become that model for that person that everyone can look up to. And that's why I'm continuously looking for new businesses to start, continuously partnering with other people, continue networking, and like trying to better myself, because that's what it is. That's what it's all about. That's the most important thing. It's more than me. It's about everyone else that looks like me, So I know it's probably a long video, but it really is a tough topic for me, and it's truly, again, I just love explaining my drive. But yeah, I want to seriously change those discussions in our community, and I really think it's important. I think it's important for us to grow, for Black and brown kids to grow, is to, as the next generation of parents, we need to talk to our kids about things like that. Like, there's more than just X, Y, and Z. Don't look at these people. Look at these people. Aspire to be greater than what your environment tells you can be, or what your environment tells you is possible. Like, there's more opportunities out there, and we as people need to go look for those things. And we need to be the staple to show our kids that there are those things they can go for. They can really reach the stars, and we can show them everything they can touch. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about.